Hello everyone, welcome to your favorite YouTube channel with me, Ugbobor Cyprian. This time around today we are here with another topic, which is mastering rhythm, a comprehensive guide to musical note duration. A comprehensive guide to musical note duration. I want to believe that by the end of this class, you should be able to master your rhythm, irrespective of the musical notes on your staff. You should be able to know how each of the musical notes are counted, how long they should last. So I just want you to stay glued to the channel while we continue the lesson, mastering rhythm. All right, before we talk about rhythm, there's something we need to talk about. There's something we need to look at, which is sound. You know, rhythm also have to do with sound. All of these musical notes, they are sound. What makes the difference is how long each of them sound. So first of all, we need to talk about sound. What is sound? What is sound? You know, in a simple definition, sound is represented in notation by a sign called notes. So all of those signs you see, they are all are called notes. They are represented in notation. So those are the sounds. So for the purpose of this class, we'll be looking at how long each of these sound lasts. How long? As a matter of fact, they don't have the same duration, they don't have the same beat, but however, they are all sound. So we'll be looking at how long each of them lasts. Okay, I want to say, if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Just click on the subscription button and click on the bell beside the subscription button so that you'll be the first to get the next video once it drops. It's just a notification bell to notify you of our next video. So do well to subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much. So as we move on, we need to look at the musical note. However, for this class, we'll be looking at 8 musical notes. And all of these musical notes have their English name and the American name. You know, they're actually the same note. Some call them English name, some call them American name. So whatever name you hear, however, just know that it's the same thing. Nothing changes. What we are interested about is the note, how long the note lasts, how long the note sounds. So that is what we are interested about. We are not interested about their names, but you need to know their names. Very important. But that's not the core purpose of this class. The core purpose of this class is how long each of these notes that last. So the first one we'll be looking at here, it's called the brief. The brief. The English name for it is called the brief, while the American name for it is called the double whole note. So when you hear the brief or when you hear the double whole note, please don't be confused. We are saying the same thing. The brief or the double whole note, we are saying the same thing. Don't be confused. Don't be confused. They are the same. It is the same note, the same shape, the same sign, the same symbol, whatsoever, but it is not different from the brief or the double whole note. It is the same thing. So just take note. The first note we're looking at is called the brief. The brief has what we call note value, how long it lasts. It has a note value. The brief lasts for 8 count. It lasts for 8 count or 8 beat. I take it again. It lasts for 8 count or 8 beat. Now listen, this 8 count is sustained 8 count. Don't forget this. Sustained 8 count. I take it again. Sustained 8 count. So the brief lasts for sustained 8 count, which is, if you have to count it, it's going to sound as da. So that is it for 8 beat or 8 count. So that's the brief. So that is the brief up there. So just take note. It lasts for sustained 8 count. Having talking about the brief also have what we call rest. This one is to produce sound, while this one is rest. It's silent. So when you see this on the staff, it means you are to rest for 8 count. This one is equal to this one. There's no difference. This one is equal to this one. The major difference between the two is that this one is sounded while this one is silent. Please take note. This one is sounded while this one is silent, but they have equal count, equal duration, equal count, equal duration. All right, thank you. That's the brief. Now let's go to the next note. Let's go to the next note, and the next note we'll be looking at is the semi-brief. The English name is semi-brief, while the American name is whole note. So one is semi-brief, then the other one is whole note. There's no difference, it is still one note. Just we'll talk about the brief. So you either call it semi-brief or you call it whole note. One is English, one is American. So that's how it is. And the whole note lasts for 4 beats. It lasts for 4 sustained beats. So take note, for like the semi-brief, if you want to play the semi-brief, if it's on the staff and you have to play irrespective of the position that it is on the staff, it will sound as da. That's it. Da, do, si, one. So that's for the semi-brief. And another thing, just when we talk about the brief, all of this musical note, they have their rest. So just we have success and also have rest. So it will rest for 4 count. This one is to produce sound, while this one is to rest. While we move on, I will need to explain about the semi-brief and the next note, which is the meaning. You might confuse them if you are not careful enough. Look at the semi-brief. So when we get to the meaning, you know. The semi-brief is hanging on the 4th line. The rest is hanging on the 4th line. It's not sitting on the 3rd line. So that's why you need to pay attention, because for the meaning, it sits on the 3rd line, while the semi-brief is hanging on the 4th line. So that's for the semi-brief. All right, I want to believe you have understood it. Okay, now let's move to the next one. Because of time, I will just take them one after the other, and we'll just wrap up. The next one is the meaning. This is called the meaning for English, while America is also called the half note. You call it half note. So it's either meaning or half note. Like I said, it is the same thing. It's just the name. It doesn't affect the note. The notes still remain the same. So it's either meaning or half note. Now for the meaning, it lasts for 2 count. It lasts for 2 beats or 2 count. If you want to sound the meaning, it is produced as da. That's it. Da, do, si, one. That's for the meaning. So that's the count for the meaning. And over here is the meaning rest. Now if you look at it, I told us initially about the whole note rest and the meaning rest. If you look at the meaning rest, it is sitting on the 3rd line. It's not hanging on the 4th line like the whole note rest. It is sitting on the 3rd line. So that is what you need to pay attention to. You need to pay attention to it so that you don't get confused when you see rest. You know, beginner student, sometimes it's confusing for meaning rest and whole note rest. So please take note. Very, very important. Take note. All right, so let's move on. Now the next note we'll be looking at is called the crotchet. That's for the English, and the America is called the quarter note. The crotchet or the quarter note. So whichever one, like I said, they are still the same note. Nothing changes. The crotchet or the quarter note, and it lasts for just 1 beat. Each count is 1 beat, and it's just da. That's just it. It's not more than that. That's for the crotchet. It lasts for how many beats? I said 1 beat for the crotchet. And just the way every other note have their notes and rest, so also the crotchet has its own note and rest. And over here is the crotchet rest. This one is sounded while this one is silent. You need to observe the time. This one is sounded, this one is silent. When we started, I told us brief, semi-brief, meaning. Those are they have sustained note, sustained count, sustained sound. But for the crotchet, you know that it's just 1 beat. So it's not, you're not sounding da, no, you miss it, just 1 beat. So why the whole note has da, the crotchet has da. While whole note lasts for 4 beats, you can also have 4 crotchets in one whole note. But this time around, it will not be sustained. If you want to sound 4 crotchets in one whole note, it will not be separated, such as da, 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 da. You get it? So that is it. That's the trick. So you need to know this. I think these are some of the common notes that I use musically. Okay, let's just talk about the next one, which is your quaver. So that we can just fast track and just let you know the other notes and we move on, because we have a lot to look at in this particular topic. 2 of it is in one crotchet. 2 of it is in one crotchet. Now, when you say crotchet is 1 beat, yes, it's 1 beat, but there's something inside that 1 beat, which is the downbeat and the upbeat. The downbeat and the upbeat. The first click is the downbeat, while it now move up to the upbeat. So you have da. So those downbeat and upbeat, however, is what one of it is the quiver. So you take the next one, it means you already have 2 quivers. So at this point now it's becoming complicated. It's becoming complicated. So you have da, da. So for the quiver it will now be da, da, da. So to sound 2 quiver, it will now be da, 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 da. Now looking at it, you notice that you have 1 crotchet. So crotchet is giving you da, 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 da. Why quiver give you da, 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 da. So why 1 crotchet is giving you da, 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 da. Quiver is giving you da, 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 da. So that's the count. So for quiver it's just da, 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 do, si, si. So whichever. So you have to take note. This is the quiver rest. This is over here is the quiver rest. Please, so take note of the quiver rest. And for the quiver, that is where flag now begins. The quiver has 1 flag. It has 1 flag. So as we move on, you begin to see flags added to it. The next one we'll be looking at is semi-quiver. So I'll have to be fast at this point. Semi-quiver. So for semi-quiver, the English name is semi-quiver, while the American name is called 16th note. Semi-quiver, 16th note. And this is the note that produces sound, and this is the rest. This is the note, this is the rest. Just stay with me. I'm going to give us pyramid and you see how each of these notes, their durations are. Okay, moving on to the next one. It's demi-semi-quiver. English demi-semi-quiver, American 32nd note. Demi-semi-quiver, 32nd note. It is still the same thing. Nothing changes. It's just different name, but talking about the same note. This one has 3 flag. This is the note and this is the rest. And finally, before I give us the note pyramid, the last one we'll be looking at is the hemi-demi-semi-quiver. Hemi-demi-semi-quiver. This one get people confused most times. Most especially the name. To them it looks so funny. Mostly those who are newbies in music. Hemi-demi-semi-quiver. This is the note. This is how it look. That's for English. Hemi-demi-semi-quiver. While the American name is 64th note. 64th note. So hemi-demi-semi-quiver, 64th note. This is the note. This one produces sound, while this one is silent. This one is silent. This one sound. This one is silent. All right. Okay. Before I move to the next one, please, if you have any question, don't forget to leave your question in the comment section below. Please leave your question in the comment section below. I will look at it and answer your question appropriately. Then if you have any topic or if there's any topic you want me to look at, to treat in my next video, please don't forget to type in the comment section. Just put the topic and I will look at it and treat that topic in my next video. Okay, I want to say, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the subscription button and click on the bell beside the subscription button so that you'll be notified when next we drop our next video. So click on the subscription button and click on the bell beside the subscription button. All right, I want to say thank you. So let's move on. Over here is the note pyramid. This one helps you to know the value of each note, how it is broken down from the brief or from the semi-brief down to the 64th note or 32nd note, whichever, down to the 64th note. If you look at it from the semi-brief, you notice that both sides you have the meaning. So it tells you that one semi-brief is equal to two meaning. Then when you shift to one side of the meaning, you notice that one meaning is divided into two crotchets. One meaning is divided into two crotchets. And one crotchet is divided into two quavers. If you can understand this, I tell you, you are good to go. You are good to go. You are good to go. So it's just paying attention. Okay, right now we want to talk about increasing the normal value of a note. Increasing the normal value of a note. Sometimes there are notes that are increased. There's a way, or there are things you do to a note that it can increase the note. One of the ways you can increase a note is by adding a dot to that note. Is by adding a dot to that note. Once a dot is added to a note, automatically that note is increased by half of its value. Once a dot is added to a note, automatically the note is increased by half of its value. Let's say a dot is added to a semi-brief or a whole note. Normally a semi-brief is 4 beats. It lasts for 4 beats. Its count is 4 beats. So once a dot is on it, automatically it's no longer 4 beats. That dot now becomes 2 beats. It increases the note by half of its value. So a semi-brief will now last for 6 count. 6 count. So please take note of this. A semi-brief will now last for 6 count. So once a dot is on the meaning, it increases the note by half of its original value. So that meaning now becomes 3 count, now no longer 2 count. It now becomes 3 count. Same thing for a crotchet. A crotchet now, once there's a dot there, it now becomes 1.5, because originally a crotchet is 1. So once there's a dot, it now becomes 1.5 for a crotchet. So that's one way that you can use to increase the value of a note, by adding a dot. And there's another way you can increase a value of a note. It is called tie or bind. Tie or bind. That is how it is. Tie or bind. So it is simply a curve. It is simply a curve on the note, the head of the note, a curve. So once a curve is on that note, it extends the value of the note. You play the first one into the next one. Let's say there is a curve on a mini and a crotchet. You now have to play 3 straight beats. 3 straight beats. You don't play 2 beats or 2 count and a mini 1 count. No, it doesn't work that way. You play 3 straight beats. So that is it. That is it. So a tie can increase, or a bind can increase your note value. So please take note of this. Very, very important. A tie or a bind increases your note value. All right, we have looked at so many things in this particular lesson. We have talked about the brief, we talked about the semi-brief, we talked about the meaning, we talked about the crotchet, we talked about the quaver, the semi-quaver, the demi-semi-quaver, and the hemi-demi-semi-quaver. All right, I think those are some things we are talking about. I will display how to display the note pyramid for you to also look at it, to know how these notes, how they are produced, how they sound, their duration, and all of that. And don't forget, we also talked about how to increase note value. Note value. And one of the things we talked about is a dotted note. I think that's the first one, a dotted note. And we also talked about a tie. and a bind. A tie or a bind. A tie or a bind, yeah. Okay, before we bring the question of the day, to be sure that you're actually following us from the beginning up until now, I also want to let you know that don't forget to give us a like. To give us a like. Please, I need your like. I need your like. The little you can do for my effort is subscribing to the channel. Just subscribe and click on the notification bell to get the next video. I think that's the little you can do for my effort, for putting up this lesson, you know, for supporting my channel, and also giving that like. Please just click on the like button. I want to get your comments. If you have any question why the class was on that you're not too clear with, please just leave it in the comment section. I will look at it and answer the question. And if there's any topic you want me to treat, I will look at the topic and treat the topic. All right, the question of the day, the question for the class. Number 1, a dotted semi-brief and the meaning is equal to how many beats? A dotted semi-brief and the meaning is equal to how many brief? I want to believe that you've been listening all this while, so you should be able to tell us what a dotted semi-brief and the meaning is in terms of beat or in terms of count. If you want to play it, how long will it count? A dotted semi-brief and the meaning. Please take note, there is no tie on them. There is no tie on them. There is no tie on them. So you might be confused. So that's how you don't begin to sound till the end. So let me just get your answer in the comment section. A dotted semi-brief and a meaning is how many beats or how long does it last? No tie in them. Take note. So question number 2. Which of the rest sits on the third line of the staff? Which of the rest sits on the third line of the staff? Which of the rest? Which note? Is it a brief? Is it a semi-brief? Is it a minim? Is it a crotchet? So which of the note rest? Which of the note rest? Let's put it that way so that you understand better. Which of the note rest sits on the third line of the staff? Mind you, initially I told you they can be confusing. One hang on the fourth line while another one sits on the third line. So I'm asking now, which of the note rest sits on the third line of the staff? All right, so let me get your answer. Okay, the final question for the day. What is the American name for the note hemi, demi, semi, quaver? What is the American name given to the note hemi, demi, semi, quaver? Let's see if you have been following. What is the American name? All right, at this point, I want to say thank you for staying up to this point. Thank you for watching. I still remain Ugbobor Cyprian. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. Keep watching, keep learning, and keep growing your music theory. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. All right, see you in my next video.